I'm going to be cooking hamburgers and mashed potatoes, and I'm going to be talking about the book Fractured Continent. Okay, so both of these things are really easy. We'll start with the hamburger. Hamburgers are really simple. As far as I know, like, the strategy is like not to add like a lot of stuff to the hamburger. So I have the hamburger meat here, and to that I'm just going to add some salt, a little bit of salt, and some pepper, and that's it. I'm just going to mix it up now. I used to take my wedding ring off when I mixed up meat. I don't know about the rest of you. So the book Fractured Continent is about the European Union and like all of the division that's going on, current events and stuff. It's a really good book to read if you want to learn more about, you know, what's going on in Europe. For example, Brexit is not a person. That's so stupid. I thought it was a person. It's not a person. It stands for Britain exit from the European Union. Just like Y2K stands for, you know, year 2000, if you're old enough to remember that. All right, so I'm not going to grease the pan because the meat is going to be greasy enough. It'll generate its own grease. So I'm just going to make balls about this size and then flatten them out. So the book has like one chapter for each country in Europe. So it has a chapter on Germany, in which it explains that Germany is now like the leading liberal force for the entire union, and they're taking in like refugees, and they are also like the richest country, but also they their population is shrinking. Like, they don't have enough people having babies, I guess. So they're interested in immigrants to bring the population up and like provide a base of you know, people to work. So there's Germany, and then there's a chapter on Greece, which is in financial crisis right now. All right, so now I'm going to wash my hands. You always have to wash your hands after touching raw meat because of bugs and stuff. All right, so I'm going to turn that on a medium heat and then let that go. I'm going to get my spatula. I need a spatula and a plate. Okay, so I am also making mashed potatoes to go with the hamburger. And what I did for the mashed potatoes was I peeled 5 small potatoes and boiled them. So that's done, and they're very soft now. I boiled them for about, I don't know, 20 minutes, 25 minutes. So I need 5 small potatoes. I'm going to put in 2 tablespoons of butter. And then it has a chapter on Spain, and Spain has several different parts of Spain that want to like secede from the Union, and they're rich parts too. So like Spain obviously does not want them to leave. All right, so now I'm going to put in some salt. And then I'm going to grab a little bit of milk. Start with maybe, my guess is that was like 2 tablespoons of milk. less milk, because you can always add more milk, but you can't really take milk away. So I would start with 1 to 2 tablespoons of milk, and then if you want it to be more creamy, you can add more milk. And then, and it had chapters on Czechoslovakia and Russia too, like parts of the. So this is what it's going to look like. You can see there's like some little chunks that I left. I don't mind those, but you could keep blending to get rid of the chunks. But here you go. But there you go. That's the mashed potatoes. That's already done. And it looks like our hamburgers are ready to be flipped. So you can see they're a little bit brown on that side, on the bottom. So I'm just going to flip them. And they're not quite done yet. I like my hamburgers well done. You may have a different preference. So I'm going to flip them all, actually. Okay. All right, so I'm also going to make some real quick gravy, because people like gravy with their mashed potatoes. So that's real simple. You don't have to have just cooked, a meatloaf or a turkey or anything to make gravy. All you need is some butter. So I'm going to get a little pan. I'm going to put like a tablespoon of butter. It's a little bit more than a tablespoon. And I'm going to put that, wrong burner. I'm going to start that burner. Okay, and then I need some flour. So I'm going to make a roux. And into the roux, I'm just going to put some powdered chicken stock. And that's going to be my gravy. And it's going to get nice and thick. So nobody will be able to tell the difference that you didn't spend hours cooking a chicken. Alright, so here's my flour. So in this book, they have chapters on these countries that are sort of threatened by Russia. Like I, as a child of the 80s, thought, until obviously this recent election cycle, I thought that Russia was, that it wasn't a problem anymore, but yes. So Russia is threatening its neighbors, and it's interfering with elections, and so Russia's actually not in the book, but there's chapters on several smaller countries that are being threatened by Russia. I'm actually going to keep cooking these hamburgers, and you may be of the camp that you would like to see some juicy redness in the middle of the hamburger. I know my brother likes it that way, but I really like them well done, so I'm going to keep going. So this, you can see the butter is melted. So into that, I'm going to add a spoonful of flour. Okay? I'm actually going to take it off the burner for just a second, and I'm going to get my, this is chicken stock, chicken bouillon. I'm just going to put, it's powdered, so I'm just going to put some powdered chicken bouillon in there. And then I'm going to stir it off. I'm going to stir it off of the stove because I don't want it to burn. And so that's what you want it to look like with the butter and the flour and the chicken stock. And then I'm going to put it back on the stove for just a second while I add my milk. And I'm going to add maybe a cup and a half to 2 cups of milk. A cup and a half. Let's start with a cup and a half. And I'm going to stir that up because I want to incorporate all of the lovely butter and flour mixture into the milk. And when you're doing any kind of a roux, the key is to just keep stirring. So, just going to keep stirring that. The book had a chapter on France. I don't remember what it said about France. Oh yeah, well, you know, they have some problems with immigration too, you know, and xenophobia, which is the fear of immigrants. And they're not doing as well. You know, like in this country, it seems like all of what I was taught in school is all like this historical stuff, you know, like Christopher Columbus and like the colonization of various parts of the world by like Britain, France, and Spain. And like I didn't learn any like current events. You know, it's just like Egypt. Like we learn about ancient Egypt, but then like that's it. It's like the country like stopped after the pyramids were built, which is a little bit, I don't know, unfair. It's a little bit unfair. And I notice my kids are doing it too. Like they are studying Christopher Columbus in school instead of any sort of current event in social studies class. All right, so the hamburgers look just about done. They're kind of little because I cooked them so much. While I'm waiting for the roux, I'm just going to finish up my hamburger meat and put another couple burgers on. There we go, there's one and two. We'll finish this up, and then I have to wash my hands again. Alright. Okay. And the gravy is still pretty watery, so it's just going to take maybe another 2 or 3 minutes. And I'll pull the hamburgers off. Okay, so the roux is done right now. What you want to see when you make any roux is that you want it to coat the back of the spoon, just like that. So that's done, so I'm going to place it. Now, you can see. It's going to be a tiny, tiny portion on a really big plate. That will be silly. But it will give you an idea. There you go. Alright, so now I'll eat it. It's going to be very hot. Delicious. Thank you for joining me. Liberty.